I'm Monsignor Landry, National Director of the Pontifical Mission Societies. It's August 7th. I'm in Napa, California. And today in the Gospel, we have one of the most dramatic scenes in not just the Gospels, but in salvation history. Jesus takes a poll. He says to the apostles, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And then he asks, "Who do you say that I am?" In response to the first question, they said Jesus was among the greatest figures who had ever lived. He was being numbered among Jeremiah and Ezekiel and one of the great prophets. But when Jesus asked the question, "Who do you say that I am?" it was St. Peter who stood forward, the first pope, the fisher of men, and said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus proclaimed to Peter, "Peter, you didn't know this by human learning. My Father revealed it to you." And then he said tremendous words. "I, for my part, declare to you, you are rock, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell won't prevail against it. I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bound on earth will be bound in heaven. Loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." What an incredible thing for God-man to say to any human being. But then after that, Jesus described what type of Messiah he would be, that he would be a suffering Messiah, that he would be betrayed, handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, be tortured, crucified, murdered, and then the third day be raised. And Peter said, "No such thing should ever happen to you, Lord." He just couldn't fathom that that would be the type of Messiah Jesus would be, despite the suffering servant Psalms of Isaiah, despite all the Old Testament prophecies. And that's when Jesus changed Peter's name a second time and he said, "Get behind me, Satan." Why get behind me? Because Peter was trying to lead Jesus rather than to follow him. And Jesus wanted this obstacle, this person who was not just submitting to the devil's temptation, but trying to tempt Jesus, to learn how to follow him anew. We pray for Peter's successor, Pope Leo, that he might always be following Jesus so that we can follow Pope Leo when following Jesus. We pray today on this feast of St. Sixtus and his companions, the deacons of Rome, who were martyred in 258 on this day, for their safety, but also for their witness even until the point of death in fidelity to Jesus. And we pray for all the missionaries of the church, that together with them we might throughout the church proclaim Jesus to be the Messiah and the Son of the living God, and follow him to the ends of the earth. God bless you.